Hi, I'm Joe Shepard. Today I'm going to try something a little different. Well, I don't know if it's actually all that different. I always say I'm trying something different. Uh, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to reach out to somebody who has passed and see what I get. I'm gonna try reaching out to John Denver. And the reason I'm reaching out to John Denver is because I happened to stumble on a CD of his, and I've been listening to it in the car. So let me just jump in on it and see what happens. I'm looking I'm looking at some sort of green glowing triangle, or and it's like got 3 points. Can't do it with my fingers. I'd need a third hand. And there's more and more of those lines of the points, such that it's becoming a giant cone. Or maybe a tunnel. And I'm sitting down in this tunnel, and I'm reaching out to John Denver. And I think he's joined us, except that I don't see him. I feel him when I see him. And he tells me it's very nice to talk to me. Uh, what would I like to talk about? Well, John, I would like to just have a message that I can give to uh, my friends here on YouTube and Facebook. And this cone shaped, this greenish glowing green tunnel has got a floor forming on it. And now I find myself sitting in the middle of a forest. And he says people don't appreciate what they have. I know I didn't, he says. You think, it's time to go ahead, say it. You think you know what you're looking for, and then you find it, and you find out you didn't really want that, so you go looking for something else, and then you find that, and then that's not really what you want, so you go out and you go looking for something else, and each time you find it, you realize there's something more, and that's just a normal human reaction. But when you look at the world around you, it's all alive. It's all alive. Even the things that you don't know are alive are alive in some way, shape, or form. It's all meaningful, and all the things you do and all the things you collect and all the places you go, that's all a learning experience. People aren't one person. People are many persons. You are not the mistake you made when you were a child. You are not the mistake you made in your 20s. You're not the mistakes you made in your 30s. You're not the mistakes you made in 40s, because each time you grow, each time you learn, each time you become something more, you get more and more in touch with all this, all this beautiful world that we live in. There is a red bird in the tree over there, and he's been standing out. I can see him. He stands out in my attention. And there's a squirrel. John, were you really the person that the world, that your songs portrayed? He tells me, well, I try to be. I always tried to be. But I made mistakes just like everyone else. But what I'm trying to say is that you are not your mistakes. Your mistakes are part of the path you're following and what you're learning and where you're going. And there's always more learning and there's always more growing. I'm asking him about the period of time where he wrote Calypso. And can he tell me about that? And he's telling me about activism. He's telling me about trying to tell everyone else who they are, because you know who they should be. And it's not right. So are you telling me, are you saying that activism's a bad thing? No, activism isn't a bad thing. It just is a matter of who you are and where you're going and what's your path and what you believe in. But you have to understand that if you're trying to make change in the world, you need to make sure that the change you're making is not the same thing as shoving it down somebody else's throat. You have to You have to love what you do and love what you're trying to do. And you have to experience that within yourself and experience what you're trying to do and understand and grow. And you need to let other people become part of where you're going. It's sort of a, it sounds like you're saying sort of a do as I do, not necessarily as I say, the opposite of the cliche. And he says, well, that's right. I think everyone has the right to choose who they are and decide where they're going and grow and believe and see the light that shines all around them without another interfering and defining who they ought to be. The songs I wrote those about what I love and what I was experiencing and where I was going. And I hope that's what people get out of it. They're seeing something just beautiful because they're taking a perspective on someone else's perspective. But their perspective is really the important thing. Their perspective is the perspective for them that they need to understand, that they need to break out, they need to open the doors, they need to smell the coffee. He's fading away. Well, that was fun. I can't wait to listen to this back and see what comes out, what it's like exactly, so I could see this lush forest. I need to describe those things more for you. There's beautiful underbrush, and I am on a solid ground, but everywhere you look, everywhere I could see, I was surrounded by forest. There was no point where I could turn and see anything other than that lush forest. It was really beautiful, and I tried to point out the birds and the trees and the greenery in those trees and the squirrels, just to try to give you a feel for that beautiful setting I was in. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. If you have ideas for things you'd like to see me do on a future video, or if you would like a healing session, a soul journey, please let me know. I'm very excited to be able to help you out with that service. Thanks. Bye.